I found the cheapest Formula 1 ticket you can buy, and once I actually looked into it properly, it didn't make sense. Because in Formula 1, cheap almost never stays cheap. If the ticket price is low, something else usually makes up for it. Flights go up, hotels explode, and race week normally makes everything worse. But when I looked at the general admission tickets for the Chinese Grand Prix, it stood out immediately. It's one of the cheapest tickets on the entire Formula 1 calendar, cheaper than most European races, and massively cheaper than places like Silverstone, Spa, or Monza. On paper, this should be where the cost catches up with you. Long haul flights, a global event, race weekend demand, everything about Formula 1 says this trip shouldn't be cheap. But when I actually checked the flights around the Chinese Grand Prix week, something unexpected happened. They were way cheaper than I thought. In some cases, flights during race week were cheaper than the weeks around it, which almost never happens with Formula 1. I mean, just look at the prices for these flights, and this is from London Heathrow as an example, but I'll also put up the prices from other major cities. So you have Los Angeles, Toronto, Australia, Sydney. That's where this stopped making sense. And once you're actually in Shanghai, the costs don't suddenly spike. Public transport to the circuit is cheap and efficient. And this is where the Chinese Grand Prix gets even more surprising, because getting from the city to the track is actually really easy. If you're staying in a hotel anywhere in the central Shanghai, you can get straight to the circuit using the city's metro system, which is one of the best in the world. The key line you're looking for is Metro Line 11. You can take Line 11 directly out to Shanghai International Circuit Station. The journey usually takes around 45 to 50 minutes, depending on where you're staying. And the cost? About 60 to 80 Chinese yuan, roughly $1 each way, which is crazy, and is honestly ridiculously cheap for an F1 weekend. Compared to most races, you're paying almost nothing to get to the track. Once you get off at the Shanghai International Circuit Station, it's only about a 5 to 10 minute walk to the entrances. No shuttles, no taxis, just a short walk, which again is a huge bonus. Food is far cheaper than most F1 host cities, and accommodation is surprisingly reasonable for a city of this size. And hotels are where you'd normally expect the race week to hurt the most. But in Shanghai, even during the Grand Prix week, mid-range hotels stay surprisingly reasonable. I mean, look at these prices and the amount of options to choose from. This is based on 1 week's stay, so it's an estimate. Like this one hotel, for example, a 4-star hotel for $452 right in the centre of the city, and the rooms are very nice for the price as well. You're not paying Monaco or Singapore prices here, and availability is far better than most F1 cities, and I think that comes down to how big the city is. Shanghai has so much hotel supply that race week just doesn't overwhelm it the way it does elsewhere. You also don't need to stay right next to the circuit. The metro makes staying centrally a non-issue. This is what doesn't make sense. In Formula 1, the cheapest ticket usually comes with a catch, but here, the ticket stays cheap, the flights don't explode, and the local costs stay low. And the reason for that comes down to scale. Shanghai is a massive city with huge hotel supply, serious transport infrastructure, and the ability to absorb race weekend demand without prices spiralling out of control. So this isn't just the cheapest Formula 1 ticket, it's one of the rare races where the price actually stays low, even when you expect it not to. And that's why the Chinese Grand Prix doesn't make sense, at least by normal F1 standards. And here's the cost breakdown for the trip, which is just an estimate, but you have all the prices for flights, hotels, transport, food and drink, and the F1 ticket for 3 days in general admission, and the total cost for 4 major cities around the world. This F1 GP is definitely on my list for next year. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment, like and subscribe, as it helps me out a lot.